quick demo with everything so you guys know what the hell you're looking at. Where is it? Okay, it's not going to do it. All right, so should be able to see me in there. Red, orange, and yellow guy. My beard should be much cooler than my skin. Oh, sorry, fellas, but that means I'm the hottest thing inside the frame right now. I just realized ladies outnumber the fellas, which is normally what happens. But we're looking for those cold spots, right? So those cold spots are going to be blue and black. We're always going to have blue and black in there, but I'm looking for it to move or to take shape. When I say take shape, I want a head, shoulders, moving arms, and legs. That's what we've caught with this guy in the past. Hopefully that's what we'll capture with it again. So I love to give you the stats. Well, Graham's freaking out over there.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all gonna be okay.
The stats on this particular camera, I want to also remind you guys I do this every single night. I do over 200 investigations per year. That includes these tours plus my own investigations. I capture about 4 to 5 pieces per year that I would put my stamp of approval on from this guy. Not per episode. I am not a TV show host, and I am definitely not a YouTuber. Do I have dozens of others that it's kind of like, oh, I'm not really sure about this? Yes, I have plenty of those. But stamp of approval, about 4 to 5 a year. I will always give you stats about the equipment that I'm about to hand over to you. I also have this guy set up with a blue dot. It's there to show you the coldest spot in the frame at that particular moment. I usually look for 15 plus degree temperature drops out of this that's actually moving around. So 62 degrees out here for us ambient tonight, which is perfect weather. I'll say it again. So we're going to be looking for, what is that, about 46 degrees and colder, maybe 47 degrees out of this. I'll make sure it's not a can on the ground, a sign that caught some wind, a piece of glass or windshield or something along those lines. But if I do find something that's moving, you'll have screenshots and the markers of where I found it. So that's the cool thing about this particular camera. Love this guy. It is super cool when we do find something, and it's usually an oh shit moment, just so you have that idea. Just let it run for the entire time that we're here. Communication devices, I'm going to be withholding information on purpose. I will not be giving you questions here like what color was George Washington's white horse, like what we did over there with the big red barn. You will get the answers to your questions from your communicators. Moving forward, Eliza married Charles because her father is over in England. He thinks he's dying. He's trying to bring all of his children home one last time so he can see him. Well, Eliza didn't believe he was dying, so she stayed put right here, got married. It's 1744. You do not get married in that particular year to earn a green card. We are not a country yet. So, she was correct. Dad did not die right away. He instead starts sending her gifts from England to where you're standing. One of those gifts happened to be the plant seeds of indigo. That's a plant that makes blue dye that makes your blue jeans blue. Most of you are wearing it tonight because that's how we use it today. When she got those seeds, no idea what to do with it. It's not always warm here. Then she had to learn how to make the dye right here and moved it to a cash crop, and basically got a hold of her dad and told him that the rice plantations were going downhill in price. They were going to make a killing with the indigo. She was correct. We now have an international businesswoman during colonial times. Something absolutely unheard of. A couple of things about this location. When you guys are asking your questions, keep in mind we have every communicator out here, 3 video cameras, and my voice recorder. If you're asking a question, your answer can go to any other device. That's kind of how this works. That's why I always love to throw as much at this as I possibly can. So that's why you're going to tell me all the silly things that you're hearing. If you're going to go rogue, I am going to kind of assign questions to anybody with a communication device. If you go rogue and ask your own questions, 3 little rules. No yes, no questions. Be respectful to this location. Like, don't go provoking. All activity will stop. Have you seen any numbers yet, by the way?
Mm-mm.
Okay, which is odd. This space is usually pretty high. We're going to talk about that. And last, please do not ask about her children. I will explain before we leave the space. All activity will stop. She considers it disrespectful. It's, again, based off of our modern day language. So with the communicators, we're going to start off, we're going to go left to right. So with Linda's device and Erin's device, you guys are going to hopefully work in tandem. You're going to be looking for Eliza's full initials on there, E-L-P, in that order. No anagram, no scramble. I want them all next to each other because Eliza that I just told you about is the second wife named Eliza from Charles, back to back. The first wife died in January. 5 months later, he married the one I just told you about. They both, ironically, have this a maiden name that started with the letter L, so they have the same initials, E-L-P. So hopefully we get E-L-P. You're going to be figuring out which Eliza we're dealing with by asking for her maiden name. That's how this works. Next communication device is going to be the 2 spirit boxes. So Tag and Bridget. You guys are going to have the same set of questions as well. Eliza's death is something she's pretty open about talking about. You would think it's disrespectful, but in her time, not so much. 4 major things that we get answers to. Age at time of death, what she died from, where she's buried, and which president was a pallbearer at her funeral. age, how, where, present. Those are the 4 majors. If you do anything else with or death, just be respectful. Last but not least, the mansion's not here anymore. Your device gives us 1 to 2 syllables only at a time. So what happened to the mansion? If you get the what, we will often get 2 or 3 numbers from the exact date of when that tragedy occurred. I just gave you a clue, it's a tragedy. So just kind of keep that in mind. But again, if you hear anything else that's even not a direct answer, I still want to know what it is, and it goes for all spirit box listeners. So it might not be a direct answer to your question, but it might be to somebody else's. That's the beauty of this. So with that said, all cameras are already running, which is super great. What's our last? I didn't show you against the list just yet. What do you got on there right now?
Elegant.
Elegant?
And Z was showing up when we walked in.
Just the letter Z. And no numbers coming out of yours yet. All right, so I'm going to keep Linda with me for just a few minutes. If you wanted to run to the restroom by Big John's, by all means, we're going to be here for at least 10, maybe 12 minutes, by all means.
Should I get
Up to you. I'm good. I know where you're at. So I'm going to keep Linda with me. Everybody else spread out. Stay away from the vehicles. Brian, definitely test that thing out. We got 3 electrical poles around us, so point it in different directions.
Is it okay if we just lay this right here to get questions?
I'd rather not. Those people, like, I don't know those folks, so I'd rather
Don't
not.
ask them, like, these mean anything to you, or any correlation, or they're just random shit.
All right, so with that said, yeah, everybody spread out. Stay away from cars. Get those spirit boxes up and running. Let's see what we can find. All right, so you're going to get a lot of letters in here. This is your sensitivity. I'm going to turn it back up because we shouldn't have any EMF in here whatsoever.
Mean anything to you? Nothing?
You go with.
Just random stuff?
Yeah, completely random.
Okay.
I like things I can prove.
soon.
Your screen is darker. Mental, we aren't. We want to protect you here.
Violet.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just random.
It's all completely random. Is it violet or violent?
Violet. Like the name Violet.
Yeah, but it could also be a color. We're talking about blue dye here.
Color or
So, I mean, it's
name.
vague. It would be, I mean, she would more use the word indigo before she would use violet because it's right there on the
stay
cusp.
for longer. I got another one. It keeps saying stay for some odd reason.
It's stay once and then again stay.
Stay for longer.
But
So,
again,
again,
know
I
how
don't have a
accurate-
whole lot of faith in most of those apps. And again, I've only seen that one actually give me one relevant answer before. So that's why I just want to kind of keep tabs on what you guys got going on.
We leave it on so just in case.
Yeah.
Just like,
Just kind of see where it goes.
Yeah.
All right, this thing's going to start overwriting the letters that you already have. So all night long, you're going to take the green dial when you have a full row and turn it off, and then turn it back on again. Yep. So it can restart again. This thing gets bounced around my bag all the time, so if it doesn't turn on right away, just keep trying it. They're too expensive to replace it right away. It always takes like they're like $400. Yeah. We shouldn't have any EMF in here whatsoever. So
have you ever gotten like a full sentence?
I've had full, like, long words show up. So again, I'm looking for anything that's 3 letters or more, but don't give me like the and, you know, that
Right,
kind of
something
stuff.
like meaningful.
You got it.
Okay.
So even if it's an anagram of a word, like let's say you have MSA and it comes up in a row, that could be Sam. We don't know that. So I'll still write it down and say possible anagram for Sam. I'll look for anybody named Sam that could be relevant to the space. You know, sometimes, I mean, I know what 90% of the history is of these locations. It's through this shit that I get the other 10%. That's the fun part for me, because when you guys tell me stuff I don't know, I get to research. I'm a writer. Like, that's what I breathe to do. So again, you're getting letters already. I don't see anything in there that's relevant to at all. But again, I always like to kind of like, if you get CCP, I'm interested in that just because that is one of the kids' initials. Kind of lets me know that they're here. But ELP is usually what I tell you guys to look for in here. We've had it. We've also had Eliza's name spelled out for us while we've been here before. So again, it's a fun device, but you are literally going to be turning this thing on and off like dozens of times tonight.
Okay.
The sensitivity is down here. So in between spaces, I'll say turn it back about a quarter turn. There's a little dial below it.
Okay.
Only because the parking meters will make it go off. So kind of keep that in mind as well. But as far as the thermal goes, nice slow movements out of that. Again, just try to be mindful of the vehicles around us. You know,
So what makes it like the letters come on? What triggers it?
so the little blinky light doodad device that you guys used with Truth and Evidence, it's working off the same thing. So it's working off the electromagnetic field. Anytime there's a spike, it's giving us a light. That's how it works. I have the sensitivity turned way up, but again, in a space that shouldn't have any EMF at all, where we do get normal spikes in, I'm not surprised that this thing is already giving you a 4 row. So
So now we
yep.
just turn it back.
Yep.
on and off.
Off and on again. Yeah, if you go too far, just so you know, it'll start to give you different formats. So if you keep turning this, it'll give you yes, no, which obviously I don't like. Numbers,
Is
but
there a reason why you don't like yes?
I can't verify any of that shit. So I can't verify how somebody feels, which is why I think emojis are dumb. Like, it's like, oh, are you here?
yeah.
And then they say yes. I can't verify that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's why I like actual words. I want names, nouns, numbers, like things I can verify and prove. So that's why like the yes no stuff. I don't get into that at all. I never have like flashlight tests and all this stupid bullshit some of these TV shows are doing. I never got into it. It just doesn't give me enough. I'd rather have full-blown answers. Have I had full sentences to answer your question? I've gotten it out of like, you got a word, then they got a word, then they got a word, and it all makes sense. You know what I mean? That's where things get exciting.
As I'm going, this is kind of like, it's very slow as I go. Is that why you want me to go slow?
Yeah, just move slow, only because I do watch these in double time. So when you watch them in double time, much easier to find a blue anomaly going across the screen that wasn't supposed to be there, instead of me watching like lengthy hours of footage. I can literally, because I'm only spot checking it anyway. I watch minute 1, minute 5, minute 10. The rest of it's for you guys. That way you guys can go through and find shit for yourselves and let me know what you found. But moving it in slow motion obviously gives us a much better video, and it only sees in 2 dimensions. So it's not like a normal camera that can see things in depth.
Right,
So,
right.
So much easier to watch for everybody else if you're moving slow. Much easier for me to capture things if you're moving slow. So it's a win-win.
It says, holy, I'm sorry, there's bad here.
Yeah, the holy thing is common. Like, you're going to see a lot of religious terms, and I wouldn't be surprised if you two see that more so while you're here in Charleston, because you're in the holy city.
Yeah, when we were in Savannah, we did a thing.
Her maiden name came out. My maiden name came out.
Your maiden name showed up, which is what?
Carter.
Who'd you bring with you?
I don't know.
We're going to find out. Hopefully you get something else that comes through.
Wow.
Just kind of like, what are the
That's
odds?
crazy.
And then basement showed up, and I was afraid of my basement growing up.
Oh, no way. That is crazy.
So we're going to... Did you hear anything coming out of yours yet?
I heard a Post Malone song.
I don't care who it was, because the ghost doesn't know who it was. I want you to treat that thing like Bumblebee from Transformers. Did you guys see the movie?
It said, the word was like, I ain't so proud.
I ain't so proud. So the word proud sticks out to me in that, right? So I'll write it down just because you heard it, but to me, I can't verify that she wasn't so proud, because she was. She was very proud. So again, that to me doesn't really mean much, but you're getting the gist of how to listen to it, which is good. So I was just telling them, names, numbers, nouns, things like that is what you're looking for. You apologize for it.
Even though this spelled out a word, would that matter? Gum?
I'm still going to write it down. It could be somebody's gums.
Okay.
So you don't know that somebody did have teeth problems.
I did get a number too. 68.
What did you say?
Red. Oh, wow.
Well, the all red is all part of the aesthetic.
Okay.
So most of these apps, like even the ones that they're using, is meant to try to scare you.
Okay.
So it does growl too. We just keep the volume turned down because we don't need that shit. We just need the word bank.
Okay.
That's the fun part.
Because I've noticed they'll be really low sometimes, the bouncing green bars, and then they'll get really high.
Yeah, so that's the same thing here. So it's green and then it can turn red.
Okay.
So that's only if like a spirit supposedly like goes next to you or whatever. So.
Got it.
I'm gonna go. You are.
What do we got coming out of
Yeah,
your guys?
I'm not going with you.
I was.
What did you get?
I just got the word gum. And I told him, I was like, I said 3 lights, visitor.
I got 3 lights too.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did. I got 3 lights.
Should we tell him?
Yeah. Come on. I got Jeffrey too.
Sticking together because you're measuring the same thing. Yours is with sound, yours is with visual.
Okay.
So doesn't necessarily mean that something's going to show up on video. So
Don't
it is kind of
disrespect us.
it's a catch-22. We're hoping that if you have a high spike and he's near you and he hears that
The
high
fact that we
spike,
got
that there's
2
a voice.
of the same 3
That's
lights,
the
does
theory
that
behind
mean
it. So again,
significant?
this is still testing
Like a
theories because
significant
that's allegedly what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
In fact, when I
It
had
could
my
mean
first
something, we
one,
just don't know.
Yeah, it really
I
could.
have to think
Yeah.
there's some validity to it. So I'm hoping to capture more. 49ers.
Come over here, look.
5.6. It only stays for a second.
It doesn't matter,
It's
but
supposed to go longer?
No. If it was coming from something man-made,
Right,
it
same
would
thing.
stay. It would like linger, like your cell phone.
Then I see
It
him
would go
over here.
like 5.6, 6.1,
Yeah.
4.9. You know, those kind of things. Like it would waver.
I mean, that doesn't
When
matter,
it's
but I
somebody
feel
that's
like
I'm right
dying
next
to
to
say
you.
hello,
I feel like
it's
that
not gonna
matters
stay.
is like the three
Just so you
lights.
know, the average for this location,
Because
5
you
out
got
of
the
7
same
nights a week,
thing,
is
the
about
same
18
thing.
to 22.
What is
So you're
odd?
not quite there yet. So I'm excited, but I'm not excited. Last week we had 3 nights in a row, nothing happened. Not a damn thing. No EMF, no anything. Like it was flat zeros. I even swapped out the device because I carry another one.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Okay.
So it's crazy. I missed the last thing that you said that I was excited about. 49ers, I tend to struggle, and what was the other one?
Football jersey.
Does 3 lights have any meaning to you?
I got 3 lights, and she got 3
I got
lights.
3 lights too. I was in all these things, but I don't know. I feel like that one, we both
still
got the
around.
same thing.
Don't disrespect us.
Let's go now. But I feel like
three
I got
lights,
3
but-
lights and he got 3 lights too.
And it was-
Does that mean anything?
Normally when things show up in doubles, even coming from different devices, I tend to pay attention to it more. So I'll write it down. It doesn't mean anything to me directly, but it doesn't mean that she's not like chilling out with people
That's
that
weird
have 3
because she
different
was over
lights.
there and I was over here when we both caught it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like we were next to each other, you know?
Right, right.
If that makes sense. But I don't know.
But again, even if like say somebody else hears the phrase 3 lights or
lights.
something with 3
Yeah.
and then lights, I
That
kind
would
of
make
really
sense.
have to pay
Yeah.
attention
That's
to
why
it.
I'm
What the hell are they
like,
talking
that's why I want
about?
to tell you. I was like, it's 3 lights.
I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
Because
Yeah,
we
yeah,
got a
for
bunch
sure.
of random things. So I'm like, I don't.
All right, so with yours, it is the hardest
Yeah.
Did you get Parker? The name Parker on yours?
I did before, not right now though.
You got the name Parker before?
I got Parker before.
Was it there?
No, I got him before. It's in this one. Oh, did you get Parker?
You got Parker.
I got Parker before.
Want to tell him?
Yeah.
He's writing all the random stuff.
You've given me 8 or 10 things so far. None of it means anything.
Right.
You might get 4 things. One of those 4 is going to mean something.
Right.
I see where I'm going. So it's going to be at least.
I got.
You got it.
Okay.
And the
They
light
got,
piece.
they got Parker together.
We got Parker.
You got Parker on the phone. She got Parker.
Parker on your end.
On hers.
Yeah.
That's
While I was over there. I think you
And
said.
then it
And they're
says-
both using different
Mine
devices.
said don't turn this off.
Well, they're using different apps. So I know for a fact that that is listening to radio stations. So do you see
Oh, I
that?
got Parker in. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying the word device.
Yes,
So I don't
yes.
know how theirs works.
Okay.
So because even when I contacted the developer, I got no response. Like I wanted to know how many words were in the word bank. How does
Yeah.
it work? Like all of the things, and they didn't even bother responding.
Yeah, we didn't know until we went to Savannah, and they were
That-
like, it's
that-
one of the most trusted apps.
that
So I
theater
just
app.
That's the most
downloaded it.
used. There's
Yeah.
difference between trusted and used.
True.
Nobody can tell me how big the
The
word
only
bank
thing we
is.
trusted is because when we were there, I said, hey, Green Eyes, we like your hat. And he's the only one in our group that had Green Eyes, and we
Wearing a
only had
hat.
no hat. So we're like, oh shit, maybe it might
No, it
have.
scared the crap out of us. trust me.
It
So it's
might only
good.
have, might have some credibility. Not saying it's fully, but maybe.
Well, that's why that one there is only 20% accurate, but it has the
Yeah.
biggest word bank out of all of the word banks that I found. I mean, there's a
No,
million of these
and
apps.
it was crazy because I was on this app and it said the secrets hold the walls, and then we went on to we watched the
episode of
Portals
where
to
they
Hell,
did that
when
house,
They did the
yeah.
Savannah said, and the psychic said, the walls hold secrets. And we're
At the
like,
same
oh,
location.
shit.
Same,
Yeah,
lo-
same
same
location.
exact place.
And I
where we
didn't
were
know at the
yeah.
time what it meant until I watched the episode because that
Then
was
we're
the
like,
first time we
what the
watched
hell?
And
the
that's
episode.
why you save everything.
And that's
So
why I was like,
that's
oh
good.
shit.
Yeah.
I like
And
it.
it was the same app, so I was like, maybe this might maybe
So,
have some
Still
correlation.
take it with a grain of salt. You know,
That's what I'm saying,
And with
yeah.
that one, and I usually tell folks when you're using any app or just a device by itself, don't
Yeah.
use a device or an app just by itself. Always have something else there to verify. So the fact that you both are using Spirit Talker, super great, but it might be picking up on the same frequencies. So
Right.
you have a Spirit Talker and maybe the same word app that I'm using to see if they pick things up like Parker, like that just happened. I'm more convinced by
Because
that.
it was like 2 separate devices.
Correct.
That makes sense.
Same different apps. All right.
We're talking about it, and it says terrifying.
Mm.
Don't mock us.
Just my whole life was here.
That's crazy.
Now you want to find one? find a real ghost? I promise you. So take a random picture of the location of your liking, and then look at the photo. The problem is that ghost belongs to your phone now. So I went in the graveyard and I did it. I won't ever do it again. I promise you. Ashley, will I take a picture of a ghost again? No. I promise you. It showed itself in a sign.
Yeah. Do you still have the picture on your phone?
No, I will not. I definitely deleted it. So we got a graveyard that's right on the lake where we live.
Yeah.
And we went in there and we were like, oh, cool. And I was like, this is how you find it, honey. And then I was like flipping through and I was like, no way.
Well, you just took a random picture of the...
No, we're going around like to locations like this could go. So,
Yeah.
that's my favorite way of doing it. I won't ever do it again.
It's kind of the same thing back to Palm Beach, so we're like, might as well just drive it down.
Right.
So
Square. New Orleans, Jackson Square.
or French Quarter,
Or
like
French
the
Quarter,
French
but yeah,
Square.
Jackson Square. As long as we're talking about New Orleans, which is funny, my dad, when he's like, what spirit did you bring with you? I'm like, I don't know. Could be my dad. And he grew up in New Orleans. He lived in New Orleans for a long time.
Because you don't
so
know what
funny
it's
to say that.
talking to. It could be talking to you or anybody else.
Well, that's what she
Whatever.
said. I heard clearly the word no, but I didn't ask a question, but somebody else could have.
Yeah.
So,
That's the thing.
and she
You
said,
don't-
but we were told not to ask yes or no questions. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I guess every little,
Look, it says, yes, I'm listening.
see?
So,
let's see what mine says.
Fruit?
Mine says he killed me.
there's so many spirits so we don't know.
Ironically, yes.
Ironically, he killed me.
I want to say if you're ever in Savannah, check out the theater.
Yeah, the
Okay.
theater.
That one will really...
And with yours, you're going to be able to check the word list every once in a while. Every once in a while, you already figured it out. Perfect.
Madre. Madre.
You fucking did.
Madre.
They said the brazen bull.
Es que
Follow me.
Don't
Don't fall.
Look.
Did you smell his fart?
Baby, I can don't do that.
Mom, why did you fart?
Estoy diciendo eso porque me voy a echar más pedo.
There's one that, remember the spirit box that we tried? It actually kind of worked.
Which one?
The one we were at the Star Weed House and I was talking to it and it kind of confused me.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. I got Jim. Jim have anything to do with it?
What'd you get?
I got Jim.
No, don't show them anything like that unless it's like actually relevant. Like actually real words that we're talking about. Like that.
Anything else weird going on with the two of you? Anything on the Ouija board device that I gave you?
No,
Nothing?
almost acorn, but they messed up that. Almost, but it just the end didn't appear.
It does say cork though. So we
Is that
definitely,
relevant?
it's a word. Anything that's 3 letters or more, I
Okay.
want to know what it is, whether you think it's relevant or not. That's weird. We've seen it spell that out,
Really?
but not here. At another location where somebody was actually, the ghost we were trying to hunt down was actually from Cork, Ireland. So I'm just wondering if she's...
So I know we're not supposed to release it. So I got Jim. Oh, I got participate now. So
I don't think that might be.
participate, Jim. He killed me. Associated terrifying. Don't turn this off. Listen carefully. I'm
I
still
just
around.
got
Yeah.
anything
Jeffrey.
that's relevant.
Children here.
No.
Maybe some bowl.
Might be random stuff, but
I think the most
anything
like
relevant?
the most like weird thing was the warrants at 3 lights.
The three
Yeah,
lights
3
are where we
lights and
both
then the
got.
Parker thing.
The
is
The
getting
Parker,
good,
the,
too.
the Parker, yeah.
And the acorn.
One more round robin with everybody. Kind of see what's going on, and then we'll regroup.
So they have got an acorn.
Me chico, cada uno está aquí.
I know, I saw you vete para allá. Go sit over there in the corner. Hold on. They restarted. Does he want to shit himself?
Back me up.
Did you hear me? I was like, does he want to shit himself?
Back me up.
For your car, it's like you want to like go on the ground and like go die myself.
Shut up.
This is his fart. I don't want to die here. I'm asking the ghost.
Hey, what happened to his foot to the best?
Wait, just. Oh. Oh, that's when they're gonna be like, yes. We have to wake up at 6 in the morning tomorrow. We have to wake up at 6 in the morning tomorrow. We have to leave at 6 in the morning. So we have to wake up at 5:30.
You know it's a recording, right? So we're recording.
But I'm saying we have to leave at 5:30 tomorrow in the morning.
Baby, so bad.
So who was talking to the people that were walking into the gate? Who did they interrupt? Like the people that said, "I'm gonna go ghosts."
Oh, he spoke to me and just said that he took a picture at the cemetery or something, and that he caught something. I don't know. That's all he told me. Yeah.
We get interrupted all the time. I'm always curious to see what people are saying.
Yeah.
All right, so if you have a camera, go ahead and stop them. Let's kind of show you how this inside the alley. We're going to start our baseline at an 8. We have some lamp posts near us that do create electricity, which hopefully Brian's going to be waving his little doodad around, trying to see if we can figure out where the EMF is coming from. So with yours, Linda, you're going to turn your sensitivity back about a quarter turn at the bottom, like I showed you before. There you go. Already good to go. All right. Any other major questions on the Pinckneys? This was pretty light for us to get started with, but at least we have small little clues that I can pick up on and see if I can, put it all together when I get to the office. What's our last couple of words?
Tie, which is when you talked about we all failed. Either, remain, revoked, dimension, formation.
Yeah, what? Nothing. All right. All right, Eliza. Well, I'm going to be back again tomorrow, so you better wake up or do whatever you're doing. All right, let's get out of here. Let's do it. We're going to go up this way.
I got windy.
You know, I need more energy.
I got windy.
Yeah, I need more energy.
Okay, get my cheese and crackers. I got cheese and crackers. No. No, but we have to see it through.
¿Cuánto tiempo es?
Huh?
¿Cuánto tiempo es?
Look, it said keep going.
Come on, man. What are you doing?
What are the odds? So you say you want to quit. It says keep going.
Left.
Left?
Left, and then you
That's
should
really
move.
left.
No.
Just keep going left.
Keep going left,
This
yeah.
way.
What's your
It's
time?
just right out. Babe, it's no importa. Who cares? We're gonna do this. Even if
¿Quién me quiere sentar en un lugar de esos y decir, quiero yo comida?
no, well, we're gonna done at 11. Most bars close at 1 or 2. We got another car after this. I'll look it up on my app and we'll
Que,
go.
pero que tengan comida. Si no, no.
Is Toby here? Where's my dog Toby?
Is Toby Baloney?
I need my dog Toby. I didn't mean to leave him and die in Florida.
You didn't die in Florida.
Well, I didn't mean to go to Florida and he died. I would have gone back home. I would have gone bankrupt to go back home. I obviously would have. I would have maxed out all my cards, my car, everything to go back home. Maybe they are following us from New Orleans. Are you following us from New Orleans?
Not New Orleans, Savannah, Georgia.
Maybe we do have to go from New Orleans. Maybe you do.
Savannah, Georgia. That liar. I called you a liar.
You're right here, I'll let you know. That's New Orleans. That's the famous peas. The Georgia peas.
A lot of humming over here. But no EMF. Reader
I don't have anything on this thing. I want the ghost that talking.
Savannah, Georgia.
Where's the horse?
Oyster Bar. We're gonna go there.
I love the oysters from Pearl Harbor. From
Pearl
whatever.
Harbor.
I passed peacefully. Now, why are you still here?
Liar. What a liar.
But no, I said I passed peacefully. I'm like, well then why are you still here? Then go leave. Is there anyone here? Yes or no? We didn't like this.
Oh, yeah, like that.
Oh, it's even worse.
Greta. This is Greta.
I was gonna, I'm not gonna do like random. I think I found this psychic that can read the dogs.
No, you're not.
I will
Stop
spend.
it. No, you're not. Stop it.
What if it says? What if I can? Why do you so against it?
Que no haces cosas sin el diablo. Las cosas no son buenas, chulo. Entienden. Hazme caso.
Can you find Toby? Can you find Toby?
Just now.
Two separate things. You want to work sorry. They're so
It's like it's in battle. Children are playing. Do you get anything on yours? It sounds like,
Coffin? Coffin?
no. It sounds like relevant to mine.
Right up, and he gets the first shot, and he just goes right for it and kills the man right on the spot.
Because mine says battle. There's a battle here that happened.
Maybe.
Alright, so there are a couple of things you guys are hearing along the way, which is super interesting. So, Amanda, were you listening along the way?
I couldn't hear anything.
Oh, you couldn't hear anything? Okay. Other spirit boxes that you guys heard?
I'm getting a lot of static.
A lot of static from the different.
Even right now, it's humming.
Okay. Hopefully you should have a small hum just because is it
Yeah.
steady?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming from the lamppost, which is fine.
I got battle.
Battle. What else do we have going
We
on?
got Greta, Coffin, we're following you.
Whoa,
Yeah, dude does follow me around.
Who are you say we're following you?
Nah, that's not for sure. Who heard the guns, ammo, and test? Okay, so the guns and ammo is definitely relevant here, so I'm going to go over to that. And then you heard fire and bones. So I'm going to explain why, first off. I'm sorry.
Battery.
Battery dead? Perfect. Hand it over. I carried 4 of them. So, worked out perfect timing. So I'm going to start off with why we're here. This is Philadelphia Alley. This used to be called Duelers Alley. This is where some of the duels used to occur. So take 10 steps, turn and shoot with guns and ammo. So that's my first piece of excitement. So I'm not surprised. It's not, we get it here all the time before you guys even know where we're going. Last but not least, really loud. We're gonna move down a little bit because I don't like shouting over these people. Sorry, I'm not a loud tour guide. I don't like this. This will work. So the fire and bones. Let me explain that. So you guys see the big giant steeple off in the distance over there? St. Philip's Church. So The story I'm working on to replace the story that we're going to next, because everybody tells the next story and explain. But it actually deals with a slave named Boney, and he actually saved that church from catching on fire. So the fact that you heard bones and fire while we were like entering the alleyway, like I'm not surprised, and I'm also very excited because we haven't caught anything from that story in quite a while. So I'm hoping that there's going to be more to it than just the bones and the fire. So you'll obviously have a link for that. You still have 2 bars on your regular light, so I'll swap that out at the next stop, so that will be good to go. What's on the word list? What do we got?
Chills. Net, fever, pinky.
I think
Ty was from, yeah.
Cameras, if you have one, by all means you can hit the start button. Just keep them on, keep them pretty low. There's other tours in here. When other tours do come down here, we'll kind of split, the seas here and let them go through. But this location being Dueler's Alley, we all tell the same story down here. I'm going to give you the same story, and I was going to take this out of my route, but this guy follows me around. Only because we will be near a place of raised emotion for him. So, yeah, your camera's totally off on yours. Let me see that. So yeah, we always want to make sure it's in some kind of like night mode, just because we want to be able to differentiate it from all the others. So there we go. So I was going to take it out, but he follows me. So again, why not just keep his origin story here? Again, we'll see how this one goes over the next couple of years, but he's probably going to be in it for a while. Dueler's out. Let me tell you the story she's telling, but with ghost hunting details, not campfire, marshmallow, kind of, you guys get the point. Doctor moves down here from Rhode Island. You're going to be looking for the letters R.I. for that Rhode Island while we're here. But his name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. If the song Brown Eyed Girl shows up on our Spirit Box recordings while we're here, it's not coincidence. It's part of his name. We get it all the time. Moving on. Dr. Ladd moves here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a lot of money from her dead parents, and she has an attorney helping her out with all of this cash. So, yeah, Amanda. It's like,
That's weird. Okay, good.
okay, you okay over there?
Yeah, no, that's strange. Good.
The attorney tells Amanda to get rid of the doctor because he thinks he's just after Amanda's cash. So Dr. Ladd moves here to Charleston to prove that he's not after her money. And on his way into town, he had a coachman. He's going to start his medical practice down here, but the coachman that brought him into town set him up to be robbed and killed. It's like having a really bad Uber driver in today's world, just putting things in perspective for you. But somebody was walking by and seeing what was about to happen to the newcomer, and the person walking by, his name is Ralph Isaacs. Do those initials sound familiar to you guys at all? All right. Which is exactly why we have the device that Linda's holding. I was getting RI on regular Spirit Boxes. We bought this to verify it. We've done it about half a dozen, maybe a little bit more over the past year. Moving on. Ralph tells the doctor, hey dude, I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. Come with me. I got friends at 59 Church Street. You can rent a room from them. You'll be safe and good to go. Well, Doc took him up on that offer, and they became friends. The longer the doctor stays here in Charleston, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He's not after Amanda's money. He's making his own. She gets wind of this. She's moving down so they could be married. Dr. Ladd then became known as the Whistling Doctor. Here's why I hate the story. Every haunted city you will ever visit is going to have a cliched whistling ghost. Ours just happens to be a doctor. So, when they're going to be telling their guests to be listening for the whistles, we're running 3 video cameras plus my voice recorder. If we capture a disinvited whistle while we're here, it's more than likely going to show up on one of those devices. So why are we in Dueler's Alley and I'm telling you about this doctor? Dr. Ladd and Ralph go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. He gets better seats. So, they go see Richard III one night, and they are walking home talking about the actress they just saw because they couldn't sit next to each other. And Doc thought she was great. Ralph didn't. The argument turns into Ralph insulting the doctor's fiancée, Amanda. Back home in Rhode Island, it got really ugly between the two of them. They go their separate ways. But Ralph went to his friends at the newspaper and placed an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thought of the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society kind of bullshit. Doc saw the ad, rebutted with, let's go to Dueler's Alley. Somebody's gonna die. All this over an actress, by the way, just to point out how shit was dumb back in the 1700s. But anyway, they come down here, they go back to back, they take their 10 paces, they turn, the doctor pointed his gun in the air and shot his one shot. He didn't want to kill his friend, just needed the courage to show up, which is often what happened at a duel. But Ralph has his one bullet still, and he puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. The doc didn't die, he fell to the ground. His friends picked him up, they took him home to 59 Church Street, where he died 10 days later on November 2nd of 1786, after refusing medical treatment. 2 things about that last statement. It is 1786. Gunshot wounds are a lot different back then than what we know of them now. Secondly, he is a doctor. He probably just thought he had lead poisoning and tried to bleed it out himself, but he failed because he died. So they're all telling them to listen for those whistles. If you're going to try this on your own, I've been kicked out of this space. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. That's the fun part of the story. But use your voice recorders from your phone and walk all the way through. See if you can capture any whistles. Just remember, every local knows the damn story. Anybody walking up and down Cumberland Street or Queen, we all throw a whistle down this alley. It's just something we do here. So again, yes, it's funny because we all do it. So here's how I got kicked out. Right about where we're standing, maybe a little bit further that way, there used to be a wall there, and that's when this place was called Cow Alley. And this is before Dueler's Alley. So the reason why they called it Cow Alley is because this is where they kept the livestock for the city of Charleston. So cows, goats, and chickens would all be down there. The word cow and hogs shows up here often and even spells out on the Ouija board device quite a bit. Did it twice last week. But anyway, so the reason why I'm telling you this is because they started down there and built the alley this way. That means those bricks are older than the ones you're standing on. Those bricks are sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's a whole handprint from a slave child in one of those bricks down there, and fingerprint swipes and others. I used to take my groups all the way through after telling them about the handprint. And I used to take them there for a history lesson. Nothing paranormal about that brick. You guys already know how I feel about cemeteries. That kid's not staring at that brick in the afterlife. That's the last place you're going to find him. November 26th of 2020, I took my entire group of 10, same size as you guys, and they all stopped and huddled around the damn brick. I'm trying to shoot them along because I know nothing's going to happen. Secondly, because we're standing outside the dining room window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I'm just trying to be respectful, not realizing we were out of bounds for tours. I'm still new at this. The new owner came out screaming. My daughter thought it was great because she was probably about your guys' age, and she thought it was hysterical that her dad's getting yelled at, and we moved on. So basically, I was kind of to see where he was going. But anyway, we moved on, and the next day was Thanksgiving. I don't tour on holidays because I used to work in upper management for Walmart, and you guys all like fight over towels on Thanksgiving. You guys scarred me for life. Like, I don't do holidays anymore. So the next day was the 26th. I called my partner so I could figure out what to do next, and he laughed at me just like my daughter did. He's like, dude, you're only allowed to go down halfway. Reroute the group. What I told my group was, I don't believe in the next story because I'm into vampires, not pirates. And again, I would normally tell you the pirate story, but we've been kicked out of it too. I know, right? It happens all the time. But at the same time, before we left, somebody with a spirit box heard the name Anne. I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating. The female pirate, Anne Bonny. So it took them around the corner. I told them what I knew about, Anne Bonny and pirates in Charleston, which wasn't much. Somebody else with a spirit box heard the number 300. I didn't know what it meant. I wrote it down. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720. We were there on the exact 300th anniversary of her pirate trial. So a lot of times I get those raised eyebrows, and wow, that's pretty cool. I was kind of pissed off. I have a master's degree in creative writing. This is all about research for me. Pirate stories come from pirate lore that was written 100 years after the golden age of piracy. That's a problem. So whenever you guys found something that could be relevant, I had to read like 5 books to try to figure out to see if it actually was relevant. However, I did come up with this great story over Anne Bonny, but can't tell it anymore because we're not over in that space. Come on through.
Alrighty, sorry.
Oh, you're good. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just going to point out this one in my group, and then guys, take a look at that as you cross over, alright? Thank you guys.
Sorry, excuse me. Thank you. Excuse us.
60s is good, but not 1960s.
Oh shit. I got cement and shoes in Virginia and Twins.
Dr. Ladd is actually buried in Virginia.
No way.
Yeah, so we'll
Oh.
12.5. And how long ago did you get that Virginia?
Like right now. Like,
You got that just now too? Somebody's trying to tell us something. I'd be interested to see, like, do you have anything else going on there? What's weird is, like, the exact city of where he's buried has shown up on here before. So, I'm not going to tell you guys what the city is, but he is buried in Virginia. So, very interesting piece. And we are getting close to the actual date of the duel. Like, remember, it was 10 days before November 2nd. So, let's put it at what? October 23rd, 24th? So it's alleged because there's no actual records of these things because dueling was illegal. So when we get up and around the corner, I'm going to tell you guys why we're going up to that space. Expect things from Dr. Ladd there as well. So when we go up and around the corner, I'm going to give him a new light as far as Danny goes and his new camera, but we're going to be dealing with an apparition. So definitely listen from here to there. It's just a short trip, so we get as we're doing it. Have you heard any other buzzing down here that kind of stood out to you that wasn't steady?
It's just a lot of. I've been trying to hold it in a place where it wasn't like catching the electricity, but
Okay.
nothing significant.
I'm excited about that 12.5. It's a rarity that we actually see above an 8 over here. So I'm excited. This is me excited, everybody, in case anybody was wondering. Again, I'm not a TV show host, so I'm very excited about it. We'll see what we can get. Anything else weird going on with your devices?
Before you talked about like the slave with like the handprint, I heard like a little girl scream.
Girls?
It's a secret.
I'm very excited too about the bugs
I
and
heard.
fire.
I got little girl too before.
I
Right
see
there,
it.
little girl.
Fallen and little girl tears.
Yep.
Interesting. Again, the Spirit Talker app, I might have to dive into it a little bit further. Kind of pitted it up against my trusty old, I don't know how old that app
There's
is.
like a hit or miss.
Yeah, well that's the way this one is too, but
Yeah,
if
it
it's-
seems like it sometimes gives you something, sometimes it doesn't. So.
There's nights where I've only had 1 or 2 things come out of this guy, and then there's other nights where I have like 30 to 40.
Yeah.
We just never know that are actually relevant. What do you think, Graham? Have you caught anything on that guy yet?
No.
Hopefully you get something at the cemetery. You ready for
Yeah.
this? You sure?
No, not the cemetery.
He was all excited there until I said
And then he's
cemetery.
like, never mind.
All right, Dr. Ladd's going to follow us all night long. Oh, by the way, when he is around us, he does have a code word, which I'm obviously not going to tell any of you guys what that is until our end of our night. So when it does show up, you guys will definitely know what's actually
Oh,
going on.
I got blonde hair.
Hair Jordan, is that that one?
I got blonde hair on
Okay.
mine.
What was it?
Blonde hair.
Oh,
She's yeah,
Puff
blonde
has
hair.
to?
There's a lot of blonde hair. So.
Yeah.
It could have been the little girl.
Could have been. We're going to find out. Let's go up this way.
Hey, that's me. Why do you look at me like this?
Because I knew it was you.
Like, that doesn't matter. It's supposed to...
What if it said Abraham?
Hey, baby, you have no loyalty to me.
So what will happen is when we get up there, we'll all basically be kind of eyeballing the whole cemetery. All 3 cameras will be pointed in the same direction, because in the event that Danny's camera finds something, I want to know what the other 2 cameras did in reaction to it. So I'm going to swap out your light as I kind of go over this. But in a nutshell, I already gave you the small gist of it, but this is almost like a story within a story. So obviously, I told you about the fire that Boney actually saved the church from. Which, by the way, once he did that, I think it was the next year after that, the people in the church actually put all their money together and they actually bought his freedom for him. So obviously, Boney has said to basically stay close to the church. About 100 years later, there's a little girl that lives across the street. from the cemetery side that we're about to go to. It's on the other side of St. Philip. You'll be able to see it once we get closer. And her friends dared her to go in and find Boney's grave and lay a cane down next to it. Well, she took them up on that dare because she's a little smartass, and she goes up there in the middle of the night, and in a nutshell, she gets scared. So she starts running to the back of the cemetery where she knows Boney's grave is at, and she gets scared again. So she starts running out of the cemetery. Well, she forgot to put the damn cane down next to his grave. So she runs back again, and she stakes it into the ground, gets scared again for a third time, and can't run away, and scared herself to death and died right there. Again, sounds like an old wives' tale, but it is said that Sally, and by the way, the reason why she couldn't run away again is because she basically staked the hem of her dress with the cane. That's why she couldn't get away. So the hope here is that we're going to find something moving around in that cemetery with this camera, and you're going to definitely be using that flashlight and your spirit box over there. This is the reason why I bought the flashlight, basically, so we can see further in there. But with the nice, fresh floodlight and using your spotlight. So that's going to go back to you. But with the spirit boxes, I will tell you we've had disembodied voices, not radio chatter. When I'm telling the story across the street where we were going to go, telling me, Sally, nice and slow, going over 5 different radio stations. The fact that we had Fire and Bones show up already tells me maybe we shouldn't be talking about Sue Howard Hardy across the street, that we should be going over and talking about Sally instead. So EMFs over there, we've caught some weird little things over there, like 5s and 6s, so try to stay away from the lamppost. We'll see what we can get out of it. So we'll kind of see what we got going on. Definitely listen in along the way. If other tourists pass by us, ignore them. They're going to be staring at you in envy anyway. Do you have anything going on before we leave? Oh. Nope, let's go find Sally. Let's do it.
I got a little boy.
There's a little dog. It's kind of foggy. Let's find her.
I think it lives over more.
Anything we can see at New Orleans. Should we find it? I saw a couple things. Is it recording?
I got anxiety. I got my family's here.
That flashlight not helping at all?
I'm trying to find it.
I have a mount coming in from that, but it's not going to reach the depth that I need it to.
Your family's here?
Back on night vision.
You want me to tell you the story now?
Here we go. Okay.
That might help. It looks pretty dark.
Not really scaring us tonight. Prisoner. What kind of prisoner? What's up, community? Can you see something else? God damn. I don't hear shit.
Maybe a little bit more to your left, Dan. Yeah, back in that area. There you go.
Yeah.
My family's here, prisoner, we left me again.
So without the light, I'm sure you can see that it's pretty dark back there. So all of our footage before has been like some parallax with the camera. But now we can actually see it. That's perfect.
I was killed. Which one? Yeah, I'm gonna do some more. Where'd it go? Doug, where is it? Head back. It is
I got below. Yeah.
10.2. 10.2.
Yeah, they're 11.
It ends at 11?
Doesn't matter if you don't like
Let's make it out. No, yes.
I want to see like what goes on.
What's it?
You should dig here.
No,
You know where it is over here?
that's crazy.
Maybe. I feel like it would be a waste without coordinates.
How's that camera work coming out?
Pretty good.
Much better now that you got your own hand on the light.
Yeah.
I was trying. It wasn't working.
I just didn't put together the height difference, and
I was like trying to like.
I wasn't even gonna bring the extra flashlight. I'm like, I gotta know if this thing will reach back there.
I mean, you can see what's good with it.
I thought you should dig here, and then the other girl got waste. Like you should dig here, it's a waste. It'd be nice if you could I can scare you. I don't really think so. You can. Well, if you can scare us, it'd be nice if you can scare us, because I haven't experienced anything spooky. So, go ahead.
I don't believe that there's anything here telling us anything.
Not even on my Ouija board thing.
Nothing really there.
Yeah, Your guys' spirit talkers are actually giving me more than the damn.
Right now it's quiet.
Mine just said this, like, I can scare you, but I was like, yeah, you can try.
Yeah, she's a smart ass
like,
little
please.
14-year-old kid.
Yeah, I was
So-
like, please try.
Yeah, try and scare me. Oh,
But-
it says bad things happen.
Yeah, people die here.
Nothing really. Something on my thing. We can talk. Okay, well,
Fucking talk then.
can we talk then? Go ahead, say some things. If you can talk, then after this we can't talk, then forever hold your peace. You will forever be silenced. So I would suggest talking now.
Or we are going to leave. Because we want to leave.
Yours isn't getting anything, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Is that yours? Nothing happened here. Obviously, it's cemetery.
It just sounds like commercial song.
I could be drinking a margarita right now, but instead I'm here talking to you. Come on, babe.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't spelling any word, huh?
Mm-mm.
See?
Red. Juice, yeah.
Just see. But I don't think it's relevant. What did he say? We
Mhm.
asked him what's relevant, but
You look excited. Right next door is where I would tell you guys the pirate stories. We still get a lot of that bleed over. Even though I don't tell the story anymore, it doesn't mean that we still don't get things from the Aunt Bonnie bit. So I'm going to write it down.
okay.
So,
Did you say Richard was anything?
no.
No. Okay.
I got here again.
So,
I heard great.
I told him the word C, and I said,
here's what's going to happen at
after
the
I
next
told him the word
location.
C,
So we're going to let
I
Dan
said,
get
thank you
some
so much. I told him the
footage,
word
but if
C.
everybody can gather around, kind of show you how this next location is actually going to move. So, we're going to be doing the Estes method next. So, anybody
Oh,
not
were you
familiar with
blindfolded?
Wait, what'd you say?
Estes
Wait.
method?
Yeah,
So,
it's
like-
Is
when
that
you
the one
get
you
blindfolded
blindfolded?
and
Yeah.
you.
Are we
Yeah.
doing that?
Yeah, we are going to be doing that.
Okay.
So here's how it's going to work out.
I want to do.
So there will be two people that are going to be blindfolded during the session. Tag, if you've been listening to Spirit Box the most out of your family, so you're going to be one. Bridget, you're going to be the other. So there is a third person involved with this. Here's how this normally goes. So with the third person, you guys can choose.
She's the boss.
The reason why I know about that method is because somebody talked about it in Savannah Theater, and they asked me, like, oh, did they see this method?
And they said that we could do it if
Like,
we
we
really
can
wanted
do
to.
it, but we don't do it on this floor, but if you really want to do it, we can offer it for you, but they decided not to.
Yeah.
We saw too
But
many
that would have
creepy.
been a really good theater to do
We
it,
saw
to
too
be
many
honest.
creepy shit that we didn't want to do it.
That theater was lively, like,
Tell you the company that you guys set up with.
they did it at the Portals to Hell.
So that company has been mocking everything I've been doing here, down to the point where their logo with that green in it
Yeah.
is one number off in the hex color of my green and my logo.
Really?
And I had mine first. There's a lot of one-liners on their website that they copied and pasted and put onto their website. So whenever you guys tell me about the things that they're doing, I'm like, I want to know. Because
we can tell you all about it.
We did the whole tour and they showed us all the things that they captured. They captured an orb, but it was like an orb that that really like it's on the show. Everything they showed us.
Everything that we saw was literally on the
The
show,
show,
which was
yeah.
really creepy
The
for some
Portal
reason.
to Hell. If you
Yeah.
watch the episode, it's exactly what they showed us. So that was that. But
And
there
we,
was other stuff that when we were in the green room, like what they showed in the show, we heard this name over and over named Bob. They
It was
kept
Bob,
saying
yeah.
Bob.
I got it on mine. I got it on hers. It was like Bob.
So, but in the show they don't show the name Bob. They just show the film. When we were there, it just said Bob.
Hey man, how are you? Pretty good.
Is there any like tours here that show like inside like houses or anything like that?
Access is like, it's an act of Congress.
Mhm.
Like, forget it. There are some tours that will do, like they have a cemetery tour, like they'll take you to visit the cemeteries. But any other access, forget it. As far as like doing investigations,
Yeah,
like I get the door slammed in my face so many times. And
Why?
we're in the holy city, man. This is the Bible Belt. Like, what I'm doing out here to these people is sacrilegious.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So it's not like Savannah where it's like
So
super.
our next stop is New Orleans. Do you know anybody that in New Orleans that we can like talk to?
New Orleans, there's actually a couple of tours that try to do what I'm doing here too. Again, I don't know about like the caliber of these people's equipment. I know that they usually try to buy the cheapest shit possible to try to make it profitable. I'd rather be quality.
Right.
That's why I go after things like an actual clear. But there are tours down there that do have equipment. Just stay away from the tours with 10 to a few thousand rods. Just an EMF meter, like a little blinky light doodad.
She used some rods, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, just, I mean, it's only valid for the user. So, to me, like, to have everybody watch it, like, we actually tried a few experiments when I was testing out different spaces. It's only fun for the user. So, at that point, you're the only one that knows if they're moving on their own or not.
Exactly.
The rest of us are like, was it the wind? Was it her? You know what I mean? Like, we don't know.
I only use it at the house, the Sora Weed House, put up the Savannah Theater. They didn't have that there.
They didn't have any of that there. They just had the equipment.
I mean, it seems like you guys are having a lot of fun, like experimenting with like these different types of locations, different, you know. Different
I think
equipment.
every location we had, it was different equipment. Like here, we didn't have this. This is new for me. So that's pretty cool.
I tried that for, I don't know, a year and a half now.
So this is new. We didn't have that at any of the tours that we did before this year.
It's a fun tool. I usually only bring it out if I have groups of like 8 or more, just because it's not always the most productive. But I figured you guys haven't seen it before because it's not being shown as much. Even on like the YouTubers don't really use it as much because it's not as productive. But when you do get words that are spelled out of it, and it makes sense, it's a holy shit moment. You know what I mean? Like the longest word we've ever seen spelled out of it, besides Eliza's name, was the word cheese. You know how it works. Why the hell would it spell out cheese? It wasn't relevant.
Yeah.
But like obviously somebody likes cheese. I mean, it was near Philadelphia Alley when it happened.
We really want to get to see what's Green River, but our tour guide said the much out and said it won't find
Yeah, something's going on like the timer up. I'll have to read the
I was just talking about how
right here, just so you guys know. I was actually thinking, like, in the daytime tour, all of these locations with Outer Banks, like, around here. So the road tours did not make you, like, obviously up and down the coast, which is great, but I figured a walking tour, we're 7 major locations down here, and I can, like, take footage, like, 15 to 20. So, I mean, that's 15 to 20% off. That's about what you guys do.
Yeah.
But it was like,
Yeah. So I don't go to the fastest speeds with people that have never done this before because, again, trying to find those kind of things, it's ridiculously hard. So they might hear like one or two things. I'd much rather have the large grab bag and then kind of see what sticks. Because how much are we missing by putting it on the fastest sweep and seeing what happens? And the TV shows that are putting it on the fastest sweep, there's no way to prove that it wasn't breeding traffic. Just use the breeding traffic. Don't get me wrong, if I'm doing an investigation for myself, client's location, I'm going to run one traffic, one flow, and then compare the two to see what do I have.
have you done this in military? I would want to do it.
Good friends at PIE are going to let me in there.
Just something like you. Just, I can do it really short. That one
So wear a hoodie.
surprised me.
So wear a hoodie and a hat.
The beginning. The
Hard
little.
for me to not work without my vest on.
No, but it was like the little equipment that was like the little lightning bolt up, and then you have to go and touch it or turn on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine.
He has videos of it where
Going
nobody
off.
was around it and it was just like going off.
So the known horn is I would run location. But walking all over the footprints. So even if you're down, or we so that's going to go around and make it go on. So we were using it there for a while. Just getting false positives. I was like, you can't use motion sensors outside. So
And then before we were leaving, they showed us like the was it John?
Yeah.
John was like, hey, can you guys listen to this? It was the last couple, and he's like, can you guys listen to this?
There was like
You
somebody
recording?
laughing.
And then he's like, listen to this. And then somebody asked a question, like, hey, I'm a teacher. And the voice just like, ha ha ha. And just laughed like a smile, like a Chucky laugh line. It was the creepiest laugh I've ever heard in my life. So they got a lot of good stuff there. So if I were you, I would pretend that you don't know anything and just go. No, they have their own gear.
crap.
Oh no, but they allow you actually to use their gear.
Yeah, I mean, but if I go with my own gear, like, I'm vested. Like, they're gonna know.
They might have. I think it'd be fun. They're not gonna be like, hey, you didn't leave. I didn't know let you in, to be honest. They're pretty cool. So I had the injury.
So, Linda, you're gonna hand your device over to Amanda when she gets caught up over here. So you guys kind of sit on the bench. Henry?
5%. Sports.
We already got the word blood. Do you want to talk more about your work? How you died?
Yeah. Guilty.
Okay. Tell us. What happened on the day you died? What were you doing?
Baby.
Anybody want to talk about your son? Well, you can if you want. You gotta give us a little bit something a little bit more specific. Use that blue box. Give us some images. I'm sure Linda doesn't want to fall asleep in that. Henry,
Number.
what were you doing on the day you died?
Bisexuality. Back door open.
Henry,
A pair of boots.
what were you doing on the day that you died?
Check out. Like a hair scientist. Count on me.
Henry, did somebody else come
Uptown
with
girl.
you? Who's the scientist?
Family.
nurse. Who else is here? Dr. Ladd, you're the code word if it's you that's here.
November 5th.
Dr. Ladd.
A year after the death. You.
Henry died a year after his death.
5 times.
Henry, tell us more about your son.
Selection.
When was he born? You want to tell us about his birthday? Maybe his name? Who he was named after? Take all those as specific clues. Here respectfully. I understand.
That's exactly.
I understand this is a month of mourning for you.
Brooklyn.
Henry, can you give Linda an image?
424.
Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve.
A nurse. Thirsty. Make him. 9.
Henry, give us an image of the day that your son was born. This game is 2-4. I'll take it, but I would like something to confirm that.
Death. Home.
Can you tell us
Reliving.
Can you tell us the day
When I.
that he died then? Instead of his birthday?
00. Sing.
Honestly, you know?
A little bit. Just a little blinking, but.
Henry, you could really use an image right now.
Something's coming for lunch. 25. 2.
Henry, let's get off this topic. We also have to praise my beautiful wife as we walked in here. You want to tell us about your wife? Maybe how you met her?
You with.
Henry, it's been just over 5 minutes. We're about halfway through this session. Try to use the frequencies to give us the answers. Really like it. Give us an image or two to try to confirm some of these things that are coming through. Just
Do.
there are nights we've had 0 images.
A bunch of blinking.
Henry. We're running out of time. Let's talk about your wife. What was her name? How'd you meet her?
Funes. Boot sale.
Lots of boot stands. Henry, did you want to talk about the war? I'm trying to keep things nice and cordial, considering it's October.
Found it. Whereabouts? Best way to enjoy.
Henry,
What's the best place to reach you?
right here, every night, same time, same channel. Henry,
Serious. Be someone.
Henry, if you don't want us here, you can tell us to go home.
Superstitious.
Any words showing up with our devices that we're using?
Aggression. Need. Jack. Mad.
Mad?
Showed up and it's gone now, but yeah.
Not surprised by that.
It just got really dark. Before I would see light, I would see anything.
Transformation
Can
process.
I see your device?
Bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye. 65. Glass house.
Henry, we're running out of time. You've given us no images that I know
They
of.
spit on me.
By the way, that
More time.
year and a half later, when he passed away after his son, it was in 1866.
Beautiful.
Heard that term tonight already. Who is beautiful?
Go on.
Never know.
Henry, down to about a minute. Last chance to answer any of the questions that I've asked.
Virtually.
A big surprise.
Yes, I know. I say the same questions every night. In hopes for answers.
Somebody.
Perfect on the outside. Not more than me.
Henry,
Barge.
can you give us an image and we'll wrap this up?
Sanctuary.
No matter what.
Arrives. Name.
Henry, one last chance. We'll wrap it up.
Looking.
Can you please tell us goodnight?
Die.
Wow, serious.
Plan is dead. That's it. Die. Die.
Oh?
It was running out.
It was at 5%.
Sun's been turned in, but that thing should have lasted at least another 2 hours.
New York.
It gave me an 10%
Round.
then 5%.
The day.
All right, Henry, we'll abide by your wishes. We're going to call it good night. Going once. Going twice.
Personal.
Let's get these young ladies tapped out. Family members. Linda, yeah, fill that thing up straight.
Knew
so it's
about.
verified. Sometimes when you see like flickering in
Just
there,
a bunch of flickering, yeah.
if it does that, sometimes it's